International Airport in Phoenix, and at this time they say there's no official review on the potential impact at the airport there. Live in Los Angeles, Jolani Martinez, Cronkite News.
Concerned citizens who oppose President Trump's executive orders and cabinet nominations protested outside Senator Flake's office today. Protesters gathered urging Flake to take more action against President Trump's executive orders and policies. 3 different groups held signs and marched in front of the senator's office. The protesters said the reason they came was to stand for all those who could not.
We have a Putin puppet in the White House, and yet they're just little namby-pamby voices. We need them to stop leading from behind. We need them out there in front confronting this Russian takeover of our government.
Protesters also shared concerns about the confirmation of Betsy DeVos and Steve Bannon's role as chief strategist. They say they plan to gather every Tuesday to protest.
Some of Arizona's congressional delegation in Washington spent the day hearing from the new Secretary of Homeland Security. John Kelly told the committee he believes President Trump's executive order on immigration is, quote, lawful and constitutional. Cronkite News reporter Anthony Marroquin spoke to Arizona leaders following the hearing. Anthony?
Not only lawful and constitutional, but flexible as well. Secretary of Homeland Security John Kelly and Yuma Sheriff Leon Wilmot, who also testified, agreed that local and federal officials need to work together to better secure our borders.
I'm going to rely on the men and women that work the border.
Secretary of Homeland Security John Kelly said that though there are places with an urgent need for a wall, every part of the border is different.
So we'll get out there, kick the tires, talk to the people on the ground. But there are places that we need to get at this issue of a physical barrier right away.
Kelly said the decision would be made with the input of officers on the front lines, a sentiment Wilmot applauded.
Those that are the boots on the ground are the ones that know best on what is needed for.
Wilmot said he looked forward to Kelly's planned visit to southern Arizona later this month.
We work in conjunction along the border with our federal counterparts, so it's important for us to understand what their battle is.
Kelly also said that he's looking at other ways to secure the border, such as lowering the demand for drugs here in the United States and helping Latin American countries get back on their feet so that fewer people feel the need to migrate to the United States. Live from Washington, D.C., Anthony Marroquin, Cronkite News.
Refugees are coping with uncertainty as the Trump administration tries to strictly limit the number of people who come to this country. I traveled to Tucson to see how some refugees are healing through the harmony of music.
My name is Richard Noel, and I grew up in the Two Island of Trinidad and Tobago.
Richard Noel is on a mission. With his melodies, he mends. With his harmonies, he heals.
Well, I realized that, wow, you know, there's so much that I could learn from these people.
He works with refugees and music.
It's very tough.
Jean-Marie Mutore left Burundi 3 years ago. He now helps other refugees make that difficult transition.
It's very hard and it's sad to see.
Learning English is just one of those challenges. They must cope with change, loss, and new responsibility. But melodies can transform mindsets.
I forget everything when I play.
Tilehun Liben plays this instrument he acquired at a refugee camp in Kenya. It's only worth $1, but
it has a value for me.
We are making a cake. I am the brown sugar then. Yes,
Noel started the organization Jam to Grow with Tucson performer Sherry Cox.
I was dancing, he was drumming, and after that we connected.
When I actively apply pressure to the center of the drum, it activates powers to heal the soul. Okay, you ready, guys?
Yeah, let's do it.
Okay. Their message is simple. Lose your sound and you might lose your soul.
When you lose your soul, you lose your life.
When refugees come to Arizona, they only have 90 days to learn English and find a job. According to the Pew Research Center, Arizona is among the top states where refugees have resettled.
A college education may seem out of reach for some high schoolers.
But Arizona schools are trying to change that. Coming up on Cronkite News, how schools are encouraging students to pursue a higher education through STEM programs.
Plus, how your GPS might be steering you down the wrong path.
I'm Scott Pelley, anchor and managing editor of the CBS Evening News. In our changing media landscape, it is crucial for journalism education to ensure a commitment to the truth, unbiased reporting, strong ethics, unwavering fairness, and above all else, accuracy. These are the hallmarks of ASU's Walter Cronkite School of Journalism and Mass Communication. It's a place where students can innovate and transform the news industry while always upholding the values of the school's namesake. The Cronkite School at ASU, preparing the next generation for a stronger future of journalism.
Discover so much more at azpbs.org/schedule, where it's easier than ever to find out what's on Arizona PBS. Access interactive digital and printable program guides, repeat times, and full episode descriptions. Watch program previews of best bets for the coming week. Search by title to find your favorite shows. You can even add programs to your calendar and get email reminders when they're about to start. It's easier than ever to find out what's on Arizona PBS. Discover so much more at azpbs.org/schedule. When you want to be more connected, friend us on Facebook, follow us on Twitter, watch us online.
School districts in Arizona are encouraging more girls and minority students to pursue careers in science, technology, engineering, and mathematics, also known as STEM. Cronkite News reporter Adriana de Alba spent a day at a Phoenix school that's working to bridge the gap between its students and STEM education.
Data shows that minorities are less likely to pursue careers in STEM. So far this year, only 26% of Hispanic students in Arizona showed interest in STEM-related fields. But through a new partnership, the Cartwright School District is spotlighting success stories to inspire students.
Technology plays a big role in the everyday lives of students at C.W. Harris School, but they may not realize that beyond the screen, there's a whole world of career opportunities.
The school district is really very focused on their population, on what's new and emerging within the technologies, and with the recent statistics in Arizona.
Here in Arizona, the STEM workforce is expected to grow 23% within the next 3 years. The Cartwright School District has joined forces with the Arizona STEM Network to prepare students for those jobs.
I think it's really important for people like us that come from the same district to come and show them that it's possible.
Ingrid Tay is an engineer with Microchip, a Chandler-based tech company. She comes from a low-income family and is undocumented.
So I had to really fight for it. It was hard.
She managed to graduate from college by asking business owners and companies to help fund her education. Tay encouraged students to take advantage of scholarship opportunities available to those entering STEM careers. Her story hit close to home for an aspiring pediatric surgeon in the audience.
Sometimes I think, oh, my family, they don't have the money or I won't get through college. But her speech, it made me think that I'll be able to make it.
Nearly 280,000 STEM jobs in Arizona last year, according to the Alliance for Science and Technology Research in America. The organization predicts Arizona will add 52,000 more STEM jobs by 2025. In the broadcast center, Adriana de Alba, Cronkite News.
What happens when the GPS you rely on for accurate navigation gives you faulty information? Trevor Fay went to Flagstaff to speak with the man in charge of rescuing people who have been the victims of alternate routes.
Choosing the shortest time versus the shortest route on your GPS could keep you from getting stranded.
We're noticing more and more that we're dealing with GPS-related search and rescue incidents, not only in Flagstaff, but around Page and the Grand Canyon. And a lot of that we think is due to the way the GPS is set. In the course of 2 days, we had two kind of tour bus incidents, which we are attributing to GPS kind of navigation errors.
Those tourists tried to take a forest road when State Route 64 closed due to heavy snow near the Grand Canyon, recommended by their GPS. They got stuck and had to be towed out. The Coconino County Sheriff's Office Search and Rescue Division is fully equipped with just about every kind of all-terrain vehicle. from jet skis to Humvees and everything in between. But the Arizona Department of Transportation has some advice so that hopefully you won't need a rescue.
We just want to advise people, when the GPS recommends a route, just to stop and think and use your common sense about where it's asking you to go. Your best bet would be to stick to the main roads, stick to the paved roads, the main highways, things like that. Because that's where our snow plows are patrolling, they're plowing the roads. If you get stuck, that's where you're likely going to be found.
And check those road conditions before you head out on az511.gov. In Phoenix, Trevor Fay, Cronkite News.
Speaking of rural routes, the Pony Express is set to ride again tomorrow in the East Valley. Drivers from Scottsdale to Hallbrook Way may see Pony Express reenactment riders carrying mail along state highways through the rest of the week. The Navajo County Sheriff's Posse has been staging this 200-mile ride for nearly 60 years. The Hash Knife Pony Express riders will stop at post offices in Heiper Overguard, Payson, and Fountain Hills en route to their final destination in downtown Scottsdale.
The city of Phoenix is on a mission to decrease the amount of waste in landfills.
But halfway through their plan, they're far from their goals. Coming up on Cronkite News, what Phoenix is doing to promote recycling efforts.
We have beautiful skies today across the valley with a few scattered clouds, but will those stick around into the rest of your week? I'll have your full forecast coming up.
I think I finally found my hallelujah. I've been waiting for this moment all my life now. All my dreams are coming true, yeah. I've been waiting for this moment. It's good to be alive right about now. Now.
In 2013, the city of Phoenix set a goal to reach 40% of waste diverted from landfills by the year 2020. At that time, the rate sat at only 16%. Investigative reporter Natalie Tarangioli found Phoenix is still lagging compared to other cities, but officials remain positive.
It's been more than 3 years since the 40 by 20 goal was set, and the rate has increased just 25%. So I asked city officials whether the goal is too ambitious and what's being done to meet it. Phoenix has a major trash problem and an ambitious goal to fix it. City officials want to divert 40% of waste going to landfills by 2020, but are only halfway there with 3 years to go.
We really have to be innovative. We have to work together with the community.
But similar-sized cities aren't relying on innovation alone. Cronkite News found Philadelphia, San Antonio, and San Diego are meeting trash diversion rates from 10 to 50% higher than Phoenix. They're doing so with various mandates, fines, and more pickup opportunities for multifamily homes and businesses.
The city can't do it alone. Residents are going to have to participate. So the first thing you have to do is reach the residents with a message that resonates, that incents them to want to recycle.
City officials insist the 40% goal isn't out of reach.
We're working very strategically because we have to, because it is such an ambitious goal.
Brossart said Phoenix's lag in diversion rates isn't necessarily a bad thing.
I think Phoenix has a unique opportunity because it is a little bit behind to learn what other cities have done, get the best practices, the best ideas, the latest technology, the newest innovations, and they're doing all that.
The city currently sends 1 million tons of trash to landfill each year, a lot of which isn't necessarily trash.
My team, we're the Zero Waste team. We're really focused on educating the public and residents on how to recycle properly.
What we found is that moving that needle is really a challenge, and so we were going to have to get super creative, really innovative, and very strategic.
The consensus, it's up to residents if the city is going to meet that 40% goal. That means making sure you know what you can and can't recycle. I visited one of the facilities that sorts materials, and I saw items like clothing, plastic bags, even small appliances that people had tried to recycle. When they come through the facility, they end up in landfill and negatively affecting the diversion rate. In the broadcast center, Natalie Tarangeli, Cronkite News.
In a matter of days, the community garden near Steele Indian School Park will have to close. The Phoenix Renews Company garden is located on Central and Indian School. The developer who occupied the land, Baron Collier, had to return the property to the U.S. Department of the Interior as part of an agreed settlement. President of Keep Phoenix Beautiful, Tom Waldeck, believes the community will miss the fresh produce.
Community gardeners are really the backbone of this project, where these are people who have lived in this neighborhood for years, and this is a food desert.
Organizations and local growers have until Friday to vacate the area. We reached out to the Department of the Interior about the plans for the land. They said they had no comment due to the pending litigation.
Severe weather is wreaking havoc in the south as severe storms and a tornado swept through parts of Louisiana. New Orleans Mayor Mitch Landrieu says there is significant damage in his city. A few serious injuries have been reported. Officials say there are reports of gas leaks and about 10,000 homes are without power in the city. Much of the worst damage is in the eastern New Orleans, part of the 9th Ward that was heavily flooded by Hurricane Katrina. Allison Gargaro is in the Weather Center tracking that storm.
We can see this storm moving through Louisiana, Mississippi, and Alabama. They have severe thunderstorm warnings and a tornado watch in effect right now. So if you have any family or plan on traveling to that area, I would check ahead. But moving a little bit closer to home, we can see up in northern California and southern Oregon, we have flood warnings. So there's a lot of rain that's happening in San Francisco, but lucky for us, we aren't gonna get any of that precipitation, but we do see the cloud cover. It was a little bit cloudy today, and it's gonna be a gray ride home for you. Across the state right now, we have 40s up in the high country, 75 in Lake Havasu, and 70 down in Tucson. And 70s across the valley. That is pretty normal temperatures. For right now, we can see 72 up in Surprise, 75 down in Maricopa, 73 in Levine, and 70 up in Scottsdale. But I have good news for the rest of your week. We do see those clouds moving out on Wednesday and Thursday. That's bringing temperatures up to 85 degrees and 86 on Friday. And moving into the rest of your weekend, Saturday and Sunday, we do see those clouds sneaking back in, and which will drop the temperatures down to 70 degrees. But that is still going to be beautiful temperatures for any weekend plans that you may have. Allison Gargaro, Cronkite Weather.
Students in third world countries don't have the same access to books as students here in the United States.
But one group of ASU students is changing that. Coming up on Cronkite News, how new technology is delivering books across the world.
Heaven knows you're a dreamer. Don't hide it from anyone. Don't hide it from anyone. Would you believe me if I said we are here for a reason now? This is our life. This is what counts. This is for us. I will go anywhere for you.
ASU students at the Polytechnic campus recently delivered digital learning libraries to third world countries like Tonga using a device called Solar Spell in a partnership with the Peace Corps. Cronkite News reporter Cassidy McDonald shows us how the digital libraries work without internet connection.
At ASU's Polytechnic campus, Assistant Professor Laura Hossman and her team of 11 students are building solar-powered digital learning libraries for third world countries.
Solar Spell is a ruggedized, portable, offline digital library designed for school children, teachers, and even community members in places where they don't have electricity, internet connectivity, frequently textbooks, but certainly not a library.
The team has a partnership with the Peace Corps, and they give the Solar Spell libraries to volunteers who are stationed in schools for 2 years.
With the mission of teaching English and training teachers not only on how to use technology, but on other professionalization skills.
The Spell is actually a fairly simple device. It charges off of a solar panel, which then connects into a microcomputer, and then you are ready to start using the device. Osman says that they have more than 100 solar spells in 4 Pacific Island countries, including Vanuatu, Samoa, Micronesia, and Tonga.
Students here come up with every part about the library, from the content to the hardware. They get to build them, and then we travel to the places where these libraries are going.
James Larson is involved in the project and went to Tonga over winter break to work directly with Peace Corps volunteers and the solar spells.
It was useful in kind of developing our sense of human-centered design and kind of getting in the mind of the users of our product. We worked with various student groups, and while we were there, and built some of these devices with them.
Osman says that she hopes the libraries will go in third world countries across the globe.
My big goal over the next few years would be to have one of these in the hands of every Peace Corps volunteer that's on the ground around the world.
In Mesa, Cassidy McDonald, Cronkite News.
This year, the Solar Spell team will travel to 2 third world countries, Vanuatu and Samoa, to check up on the progress of how their digital libraries are being utilized.
Cronkite News is proud to be the news division of Arizona PBS. Here's what's coming up on Arizona Horizon and PBS NewsHour.
On the next Arizona Horizon, a constitutional scholar explains originalism and textualism in light of the recent Supreme Court nominee. And we'll get some insight into the minds of teenagers from a best-selling author and family counselor.
I'm John Yang. On the next NewsHour, the Senate votes on President Trump's controversial pick for Education Secretary. That's Tuesday on the PBS NewsHour.
That's it for Cronkite News tonight. Thanks for joining us.
For top Arizona stories anytime, go to cronkitenews.azpbs.org.
American Experience.
About a third of the building has been blown away.
The bombing in Oklahoma City was an attack on defenseless citizens.
Immediately it hit me. This is about Waco.
These events were all connected.
It was essentially domestic terrorism.
If you continue it like Ruby Ray in Waco, this is what's going to happen.
Oklahoma City on American Experience.
Tonight at 8 on Arizona PBS. Explore new ideas and new worlds here on Arizona PBS, a community service of Arizona State University. Coming up next on Arizona PBS, Life and World. A parent is a child's first teacher. That's why Arizona PBS is providing a series of free workshops to parents and caregivers of preschool-age children who live in Yuma County. Learn how to expand your child's reading and language skills through fun activities featuring their favorite PBS characters. You'll also get interactive tools you can use every day at